25 years since I've been in this building. I graduated from Eisenhower High in June of 1961. I walked in the building this morning, and my bones tingled a bit. Brought back some very good memories. Believe me, you'll appreciate that much better after you leave. I did not pay Mr. Edwards for that introduction, but I surely appreciate it. I really want to talk about three things and talk about them in three separate sections. Number one, I'd like to talk a little bit about my mission and reason for coming. I'd like to talk a little bit also, give just a brief biography on myself, because I'm sure that a lot of people in this room, especially the students, have walked the same paths that I've walked. And thirdly, I'd like to leave you with just three very important words for me. I'm looking out there and I see someone extremely special to me. I didn't know she was going to be here this morning, but my mother's in the rear, and I just like her to stand up and say good morning to her. I think the reason my sister is a teacher here, Mrs. Hackett, she called me 2 months ago and said, please come. And in our family, family is very important, so I'm here. The reason why I thought it was very important for me to come was solely that in these days and times, I'm working for a major Fortune 500 company. There's an absence of black executives. And I thought it would be valuable for someone who had gone to the Dot Walls Elementary School and Stewart Junior High School and Marston High School. And I'm sure there's several of you here who live on Cherry Street. Even though I'm living in Wilmington now, that's still my home. To look at that pathway and say, maybe I can get there too. The advice that before I organized this talk, I talked to my son last night. He's 15 years old in 10th grade. I said, Neil, I'm preparing to go back to my old high school, which is now a junior high school, and give a brief talk. I wanted it to be exciting, and a very popular word in the 60s was hit. I said, I wanted it to be hit. And Neil said, Dad, he said, it took 25 years behind the times. He said, the word today is fresh. So I hope that this talk is fresh. The advice that I've given Neil and I'd like to give you is that in life today you really have to maximize your ads. And I'm sure you're all familiar with ads like an advertisement. You see, each of us in the workforce, no matter what our occupations, are selling our services, our times, our efforts to our employer. In your particular situation, you're selling your time, your services to your teachers. In turn, they're selling it to the school district. So each of us have to prepare to advertise or create ads about ourselves, because competition for good jobs across all industries is high, and only the best ads will win. Why do I use the word ads, A-D-S? The reason is because each letter stands for what makes up what we are and who we are in our careers. You see, ads that I'm speaking of are not TV commercials or catchy jingles. They are who we are and what we are in terms of attitude, desire, and skills. That's what ads stands for. Attitude, desire, and skills. Each of us right now, each of you, has complete control over your attitude, your desire, and skills. And these three words will keep many, many options open for you as you travel through life. Your options are open for almost any opportunity, for almost any success, for almost anything you really want to do. First letter of ads is for attitude. I can't stress this long enough or hard enough. Attitude is something that only you control. Attitude must be positive, realizing that you can do anything you want to do. You have tremendous opportunities in the United States. Who would have guessed that someone from 500 block of Cherry Street with a great Norristown public school education, college, law school, and business school, could really move up and take over a major subsidiary of Fortune 500 company? I think the attitude, the desire, and the skills that I picked up here at the Norristown School District was invaluable. The second letter of ads is desire. I really believe that desire is probably 60 or 70% of the way. To desire something is to want it. If you want it bad enough, and if you really want it more than anything else, and you're willing to pay the price, and that price is time, effort, plain old hard work, you can get what you desire. There isn't a man or woman today in the sports world, I'm sure if Bob was here would testify to this, that won't tell you that desire is what makes winners winning teams. Desire, like attitude, is a personal part of each of us. No one can give you desire, only you. No one can control your desire, only you. No one else can put those two things together for you. You will get what you desire if you work hard, if you put in the time, if you put forth the effort. I think attitude and desire are really the things that are not stressed enough in the educational setting. But the real foundation is skills. And you're in the process now of attaining those skills. The S stands for skills, and skills include your education, your training, knowledge, experience, and assessment. Health people, or people in the health industry say, you are what you eat. Skills are built on that same premise. And it says that you are what you know and what you've experienced. Attitude, desire, and skills. It's a winning troika. It's a triple. And I cannot stress long enough and hard enough. I cannot emphasize enough times that if you have a positive attitude, desire, and skills, and you put those into positive ads for yourself, you'll be a winner for a lifetime. Thank you very much.
Boys and girls, we do have enough time this morning that if you have any questions that you would like to direct either to Mr. Wright or Mr. Gutierrez, we would be happy to have them.
question. I think the question was, what is the age limit for retirement? In today's corporate world, there really is not any age limit. Most people, I think, look at age 65 for retirement. Beneficial corporation, we really, if you're useful, if you're healthy, if you contribute, we want you to stay as long as you can stay. But 65, I think, traditionally is the pension. How did I get into the hockey business? Is that what you asked? Well, I can't skate. I was at the right time I was at the right place at the right time, and I was prepared. The owner of the Philadelphia Flyers was looking for someone who, number one, was a lawyer, which I was, and number two, who had some experience at working with large groups of people. Because on the business side of sports, you must be able to work with groups of people. If you're with a baseball team, for example, there are 24 baseball teams or more. You must know how to work with the other owners and the other representatives of those teams. So I have been prepared to handle that particular job. And when he was looking for someone to run his hockey team because he didn't want to run it any longer himself, he chose me. Does that answer? I've been in the banking business now for 17 years. I'm a very young 42. I became president in November of 1984, so I've actually only been president now for roughly 7 months. Prior to that, I was executive vice president and chief operating officer for the last 4 years. I might add that I started in Philadelphia in the trust department of the Gerard Bank, which is now Mellon. Moved on to Continental Bank. Probably would have still been in Norristown. Things have worked out well at Continental. So I've been in banking for 17 years now. I've really been president for the last 7 months. Sorry I don't have any free samples for you today.
Are there any questions from the teachers, perhaps?
President of Beneficial National Bank in Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington's about 45 miles south of Norristown, directly south on Route 202. Our bank is owned by Beneficial Corporation, is our only stockholder. If you're familiar with Beneficial used to have a little jingle that said, "Beneficial, you're good for more, toot toot," which is a consumer finance company. Our business basically is restricted to Delaware. Yeah, what's one of my biggest problems in being president of a hockey team? Let's say any sports team, losing. That's the biggest problem. In our business, I'm sure it's the same in Mr. Wright's business, Uh, if we're winning, we do well. We attract a lot of fans, we have a lot of people watching us on television, and we can make enough money to pay the salaries of the players and so on. When we're losing, it makes it much tougher. I'm presently with a team that's struggling. We're a new team in northern New Jersey, just outside of New York, and we're having a very tough time because we've been losing. When I was with the Flyers, it was the opposite. We were winners. My task is to convert the losing team, the New Jersey Devils, into the winning team, like the Philadelphia Flyers. And the way to do that was best outlined, as well as I've heard it in a long time, by Mr. Wright's speech. We spend more time with our athletes talking about attitude and desire first, and skills later, than on any other topic. If their attitudes aren't positive, if they don't have that extra desire, they could be the most skilled people in the world, they won't succeed. When you're dealing with a professional athlete, he has skills. If he doesn't have the right attitude and the right desire, we'll never become the winners that we want to become. What educational background is required for an athlete? But there is no specific educational background. But one of my views, which I tried to state a little bit in my talk, is that to be a good athlete, where perhaps it's not required that you be a college graduate or a high school graduate, that you be able to read and write, I maintain that the better athlete is the better student. The athlete who has interests which go beyond just his sport, give him an ability to play his sport better, to enjoy it more, and to realize why he's doing what he's doing. So we have an educational program at the New Jersey Devils. We have a career counseling program where we do much like you're going to be doing today. We have our athletes talk to people to try to help them develop careers outside of hockey.
I think the question was, why did I choose to go from law to banking? And really, I didn't make the switch intentionally. I went into the bank in the trust department. Most trust officers have a background in law. I thought I would probably be doing wills and estates. Was not very successful at that, and decided to move over to the commercial side. I really enjoy what I'm doing. In commercial banking, you meet different people, different businesses. You do a lot of traveling, and I get a chance to use the reasonable man training that I gained in law school, but that's primarily why I'm in banking today. I really enjoy it, and I think that's very key. And the law itself gives you the foundation to do many things. To be a state legislator, to be a president of a hockey club, be in the real estate business, just gives you a broad background. It might be someone from IRS on your side. The salary range for bank presidents really depend on the assets of the bank. for a bank our size, salary could really go anywhere from really $90,000 to $150,000 in that range. That's before taxes. Yes, we've had some holdups. As a matter of fact, when I worked at Gerard, I was involved in a holdup. Sort of goes with the territory. They're unpleasant, but they do happen. So we've had some holdups.
How many games in a season? How many games did we lose? I was afraid somebody was going to ask me that. Well, we play 80 games. Yep. We won 22. We tied 10. What does that leave us with? 48? Wait till next year. Yeah. How long what? How long have the Devils? Oh, I've been with the Devils for 2 years. I'm not a devil, I'm an angel. He said maybe I should stay with the Flyers because they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's a good question. The question is, who do I think is going to win the Stanley Cup, which is the championship in hockey? Edmonton or the Flyers? I think the Flyers will.
Yes, we're very sensitive to full employment. In all banking areas, you have to comply with the Equal Opportunity Commission. But at our bank, we have 94 employees, and we have 2 black women who are assistant vice presidents and branch managers. So it's a little odd. We have a very homogeneous group at our bank, from the top down. Could you repeat the question? Why don't you stand up? I can't hear you. The question was, when we have a holdup, how do you replace the money that was stolen? And two ways, basically. We have an insurance policy. And much like your car insurance, we have a deductible. The last 2 holdups that we had